If I could describe the Get My Life tour in one word, it would be vulnerability. Showing up for yourself is so important. Welcome to the Get My Life tour. I'm your host, Lydia T. Blanco. Hey y'all, and welcome to the Get My Life tour. It is me, your host, Lydia T. Blanco, and as always, I am so excited that you decided to join me here on tour and show up for yourself. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome to the Get My Life tour. Look, every stop on this podcast, on this tour, is designed with you in mind, so I hope that you get something while you are here, okay? If this is your umpteenth time tuning in, welcome back. I'm so glad that you are here yet again. It means the world to me. Y'all, I'm so pleased with the season on the tour, of the tour, excuse me. And I am really grateful for where it is going. Season 3 will be coming to an end in like a couple of months. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what does that look like? What does that mean? It means that people have showed up and showed out, and that season 4 will be in motion. Isn't that wild? Okay, maybe it's just wild to me because I'm like hosting, producing, editing, booking, marketing, and all this other jazz, right? But it's all a labor of love, and I'm so excited that I get to do it with you. So thank you for tuning in and listening with your heart, for subscribing, for downloading, for sharing, for reviewing, for being here and, showing up for yourself. Oh my goodness, this is incredible. Look, I have had a very interesting week, a very interesting last 2 weeks, going on 3, and I am realizing that, in the words every E40, everybody got choices, right? But no, really, it's time for me to choose myself. I feel like I have done that, y'all, but then I also have proof that I haven't in a number of areas. And so, you know what? It's time to choose up. It really is. I am a lover, a doer, a giver. I serve. I challenge myself. I challenge other people. I show up, and I'm always striving to be my best, give my best, live my best life, get my life, all of that. Right. And now I've come to terms with, and I say it this way because there's nothing easy about choosing you, even though it should be, and it sounds like it innately should just come naturally. I honestly, in my experience, can say that there's nothing easy about choosing self, right? And I am very familiar with the teachings of being selfish, right? Being for self, putting self first. But I really haven't put that into practice, right? I also am someone who's like, okay, I definitely will put on my little oxygen mask first and then help you out. But sometimes I scramble. I'm like, oh my gosh, but you look like you don't know what you're doing, and let me help you. So you know what? Those days have come to an end. And that's what I want to talk about on this stop of the tour, choosing self. I've had some life-altering experiences, and I really am looking at people like, okay. But with the same eye, I'm looking at myself, and I am just like, wow, Lydia, you know what? You talk about showing up and getting your life, this, that, and the third, practice vulnerability. And while I have been true to that, I realized that I have not been putting myself first. And in the midst of everyone doing what's best for them, I, yes, have been doing me, right? But I've been doing me with all due respect and with others in mind. If that makes any sense, right? I hope you get what I'm saying. I care so much. And it's so interesting because I have women who are ahead in life, by age or life stages. And I look to them for advice and, encouragement. And a lot of these people I admire, and I'm so grateful for them. And they're like, girl, look, you gotta curse tomorrow, or you gotta smile less at times and let people know everybody not your friend. But you gotta put yourself first. You have to put yourself first. I wish that's something that someone would have told me a long time ago. And I'm like, And now I see, right? And I'm like, okay. So in this process of choosing myself time and time again, right? It's a daily practice of choosing myself. I am learning new things about myself, what I like, what I don't like. And y'all know I've been dating myself for quite some time. And I'm open. So I like to have a healthy balance of activities that I do by myself and that I, will engage in with other people, just because it keeps me balanced. But what I will say is that even if you are single, make sure that you are emotionally single as well. Just a little gem that I'd like to drop in there. Okay. But so in the process of choosing myself, I've learned a lot and I'm learning a lot. So one of the things that I've learned is that you have to have an inner standing that things around you need to change. I have had this newfound experience as it relates to choosing myself, and this understanding that has allowed everything around me to appear to be odd. And I'm questioning a lot, right? Things don't look the same. They don't feel the same. And it's because of what's happening inside of me. And I'm really grateful for that. Now, I'm not questioning everything and everyone, right? In a suspicious manner, right? And like, I'm not paranoid or anything of that nature, but I am realizing when I'm a little bit too meek or a little too modest, or when, I'm playing it small, or when something around me is happening and I'm not in agreement with it, right? It's showing up inside of me first. And I'm like, okay, that's what that is, right? So some of the things that I've been doing, right, daily to choose myself is to practice an honest no, right? No, I can't do it. No, thank you, right? Or telling people just no. It's actually not going to happen because I have to choose myself. My time is valuable. My well-being is valuable. Honoring where I am, what I'm working on, how I'm feeling is very important, right? And when you practice those things daily, it helps you to be able to better advocate for yourself. And it reminds people of who you are, right? So as you choose yourself, seek that inner standing, and I believe everything around you will shift. The other thing that has been really front of mind for me are intentions, right? I always, people close to me know I love being intentional. I'm like, okay, well, I thought about this and blah, blah, blah. But what has become even more apparent to me is that intentions don't mean anything when you do not act on them. And that may sound very obvious, but it's not, okay? Because a lot of people got good intentions and no action, right? And so you can intend to live a better life, earn more money, save, pay this, go there, have this kind of fun, have these kind of conversations, call these people closer in relationship. But if you do not act on that, your good intentions won't mean anything, right? So yes, set some intentions, but also put a plan of action together so that you can actually choose, so that you can actually decide. I am so indecisive when it comes to small stuff. Like, I never know what I want to eat, y'all. Unless I have a craving, I never know what I want to eat. It's horrible, right? But I have to be more mindful even with that as I choose myself, because the little things show up in the big things, right? So yes, set some intentions, but act so that you can actually decide and be decisive. I feel like I was a bit all over the place, right? I feel like that was probably like a 3 in 1, or maybe even a 5 in 1. I'm not sure who's counting, but I really wanted to share that because we don't realize how being indecisive gives others permission to, I don't know if it's accurate to say treat you that way or deal with you in that manner, right? I think it's easier for other people to fumble the bag when you don't choose yourself, because they feel like, well, look, if you haven't even chosen yourself, why do I really need to decide? Or why do I need to be called higher and show up for you in a certain way if you're not even willing to do that for yourself? Right. I feel like that lends itself to the saying, love yourself before you love someone else. But let's just talk about the self part, right? You gotta love yourself. Like, yes, I'm going to plug it again. All About Love, Bell Hooks. Get the book. I finished it. It has literally changed life, like changed my life. Like, I probably will read it another time or 20, but self-love is so vital to your well-being, your spiritual well-being, your mental, your physical, all of that, y'all. There's so much lovelessness around us. And we have to remember that choosing ourselves means to love ourselves as well, right? A lot of us don't even like ourselves. I'm just like, man, if you could start by falling in like with yourself and learning how to love yourself, I really believe that will be powerful as you choose yourself, right? I, am single, and I'm like, okay, I like to take myself out on dates. I also like to, have a nice date. I'm like, okay, that was nice. Right. I had this really dope experience. I guess I'll share because I just claimed this man was magical because I never engaged with him again. But I decided, my goodness, I guess it was a month ago now, maybe a month and a half ago. I took myself on a date to the Brooklyn Museum, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do this because this is what I need. And I was the only person for hours that I saw by myself. I was like by myself in the Brooklyn Museum. And I went up and down the stairs, stayed 6 feet apart, took some photos and shared it to my stories on Instagram. And I was like, I cannot believe that I am in here by myself. I hadn't run into any other individual who was walking through the exhibits by themselves. And so I was like, you know what? I'm kind of ready to go, but I'm worth my time and, the investment of going out on a date. So Lydia, you're going to stay. So I stayed, and I began to do this song and dance with a young man who was in another exhibit. And I realized that, okay, wow, he was by himself, right? He noticed me. I noticed him. And y'all, the night was magical. Okay. Now I'm letting y'all all up in my business, right? But I'm going somewhere with this. Long story short, we walked and talked throughout the museum until it closed, went and got dinner. He paid. He took off his mask because, that could have gone wrong. And as God would have it, the man was fine. He had all his teeth. His beard was full. It connected. This man was fine. Okay. And I had to hold my composure because I didn't want to act like I had never been anywhere. I seen a handsome man before in my life, but I was like, whoa, what is happening? I wasn't ready, but I was ready because I chose myself, and I came and I said yes. And this all is working out together for my good, but oh, he fine. Okay. He was fine. But all of that happened, and it happened because I chose myself. Like, I am confident it happened. I was by myself. I had chosen, you know what I'm saying, to take myself out, and I met an incredible individual. And my prayer and my moment of gratitude, you know, I summed it up as if it was only for that moment. If it was only for that moment, then I was grateful for the experience, right? If that was the reward, if that encounter was the reward for choosing myself, I was content. I am content. It was worth it. And I know that is more of a, you know, dating, relational kind of experience, but I feel like that will happen in other areas of my life as I continue to choose myself and honor not only my singleness, right, but who the Most High has called me to be. Show up that way professionally, personally, my relationships, you know, as I pursue, and be pursued, right? But just in every area, in friendship, with my money, being faithful with my finances, all of that, right? With my eating, with drinking water, that consumption, all of it. So I use that story, to encourage you to choose yourself. Now, I'm not saying as soon as you take yourself out to the Brooklyn Museum, you're going to run up on a shorty who is very handsome, well dressed, smells good, has all his teeth, a beard that connects, and, you know, go to dinner. I can't guarantee that to you. I'm grateful for the experience, but look, the Most High shows out. Okay. And sometimes all that is required is a sound decision. Oh, that could have been my mic drop moment, but I'm going to say it again because we're not there yet. All that is required is a sound decision. Sometimes that's what we need to move on and move forward and to really choose ourselves. Choose yourself with a sound mind. Do it boldly and confidently, and pay attention to the miracles, the signs, and the wonders. You know, choosing yourself is no small feat because we have so many distractions around us, so many other things to choose from or between. But I believe when you put yourself first and center yourself, that choice will become more, I don't want to say attractive. I kind of don't want to say evident as well. But it will be made known, right? And you are worth choosing. Hello, you are worth choosing. Okay. If nobody else chooses you, you choose you. I don't know, you know, who needs to hear that, but I hope you heard me with your heart. If no one else chooses you, you choose you. Look, that applies to every area of life. Some people apply to 1,000 jobs and they can't get a call back. Do it yourself. Start the blog, start the podcast, write the book, you know, become your own agent. Whatever it is, get a trade skill. I don't know. Okay. But you choose you, right? You want to speak and no one wants to listen to you. Start a podcast, you know, put yourself out there, start the YouTube channel. You know, no one wants to, I don't know, lend you the money, save more, you know, find another hustle. There are so many things that we have access to, but it's not until we make up our mind, right, that we're able to really access those things. And I know that may sound a bit redundant, but let me make it a bit more clear to you. When you make up your mind, you have the power to manifest. You have the power to visualize, right? Because your mind is not as cluttered. And I believe those things will be brought forth. So make up your mind, get clear, and choose. You know what I'm saying? Have a sound mind. You know, I think it's also important to trust yourself. Oh, wait, that's so hard. Oh my gosh. Self-trust. Oh no. Okay, no, seriously. I know a lot of us have trust issues. So do I. But I feel like your gut will never lead you the wrong way. Let me tell you something. My gut has been saving my life since day one. Okay? I know that may be extreme, but it's true. My gut has never failed me. And I'm so grateful for that intuition, for that instinct. You know, I think it's also, important to trust yourself. If you can't trust nobody else, I know I said if nobody else is choosing you, you choose yourself, but who are you not to trust yourself? You literally cannot run away from yourself. Wherever you go, you have to take yourself with you. It is worth trusting yourself, your instincts. And you know what I'm saying? If you make a mistake, if something doesn't go right, it's okay, right? Failure happens. Setbacks happen. Sometimes we make mistakes and we realize, you should have chose door B instead of door A or whatever. I don't know what it is, but your instincts, your gut, your God-given intuition, you have it for a reason. Look, I'm going to just hurry up because I don't want to belabor this. Boundaries, boundaries, boundaries. You gotta set those boundaries as you choose yourself. I say a healthy no all the time. A healthy no will set you up for success. And, a lot of people talk about it being no. I can't even speak English right now. A lot of people talk about no being a complete sentence. I feel like as true as that is, you have to know that for yourself. Right. And I hope that one day you get there. I hope one day that I get there and I'm like always there and I'm like, no, no in English, no in Spanish, no in Mandarin, no. Right. But it's so important for you to be able to set boundaries, right? No, thank you. Letting people know, actually, I can't do it at this time. You know what? That actually doesn't work for me. I'm saving towards this goal, but I just won't be able to make it. Being honest about what your boundaries are and being clear will help you to choose you, right? It's those micro steps. It's those moments when you feel that stomach in the pit of your gut and you're like, I feel like sometimes that's like your inner self just kicking you a little in the stomach, like, hello, no. Remember, you got to choose you this time. But look, I really feel like all of those things that I've mentioned, all the tips, all the steps that I've shared will help you to choose yourself. I feel like there are so many more ways, but I hope that these have been helpful. And I really hope, that it helps you to fall in love with yourself, understand your self-worth, helps you to love your life, live your life, and practice gratitude. I really feel like once you decide, once you make up your mind, you'll make room for yourself, right? As you choose yourself. And that's what I'm hoping for myself, at least, and that for you too, really. But I really hope that for myself, I think that it sounds easier said than done, but it's worth it. I'm like, okay, I could only imagine, ooh. So this is going to be my mic drop moment, and it just came to me, and it's going to be a little long. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to drop the mic eventually. But have you ever had a moment where you wish somebody would have chose you, and you say something along the lines of, see, if they would have chose me, if they would have gone with me. Now say that to yourself. If I would have just chosen me, man, if I choose me, you hear it? Don't wait for someone else to do that, especially if that's what you need to do for yourself. And that's what others need you to do for you. I really hope that what I've shared is helpful. It has gotten you to think about choosing yourself differently, or it's something that you can share with someone else, right? Maybe if you don't know how to start the conversation with them about them being able to choose themselves. Look, I am so grateful for all of your time and your attention, and for the way that you show up here on the Get My Life Tour. To stay connected, be sure to visit the getmylifetour.com. Be connected on social media at the Get My Life Tour on Facebook and Instagram, at Get My Life Tour on Twitter. And if you'd like to stay connected with me and my work as an independent storyteller and, Lydia, be sure to stay connected by visiting lydiatblanco.com or connecting with me on Facebook and Instagram at Lydia T. Blanco. And you know what? Let me actually correct myself. If you want to stay connected on Facebook, it is at by Lydia T. Blanco, and on Twitter at Lydia T. Blanco. Look, season 3, fire. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. And I cannot wait to the next stop on the tour. Until then, it has been real. Peace.